Hello friends, welcome to my Princess Diana channel. Before moving on to the video, if you are not subscribed to my channel, do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so let's move on to the video. Today, we discuss a significant development that has been met with considerable enthusiasm by many in the UK, particularly among those less supportive of Harry and Meghan. As they have stepped down from their official duties, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have drifted even further from the royal family. A royal expert has noted, they are no longer part of the inner circle and are not privy to the activities of King Charles and his wife, Catherine, Princess of Wales. A telling example of this distance was when news of King Charles and Catherine's health issues was made public before Harry and Meghan were informed. Clearly, Harry and Meghan find themselves completely isolated from royal communications. They were unaware of Catherine's health situation and remain disconnected from all royal family matters. This treatment, arguably appropriate given their diminished status within the royal family, poses the question, even if they were informed, could they be trusted to assist without personal gain? Given their history of monetizing private information, it seems highly unlikely. This continues to underscore the complexities and challenges within the royal family dynamics, especially concerning Harry and Meghan's changing role and relationship with the other members. Indeed, it's a sensible decision to exclude them from receiving updates from the royal family. Moreover, it's a relief that Harry has distanced himself from royal duties, considering the monarchy's need to discuss sensitive matters with government officials. Trusting Harry, who has shown a propensity for leaking information or exploiting his position for personal gain, would be imprudent. His actions suggest a lack of trustworthiness in handling private or state affairs. Anything disclosed to him would likely find its way into tabloids or be used against the royals, creating a lamentable state of affairs that lacks any entertainment value. There's also chatter about Meghan's fear of losing control over Harry, indicating her efforts to maintain a strained relationship dynamic. However, William is unlikely to entertain the idea of reinstating Harry into royal duties. Harry's days as a working royal are over, and his access to sensitive royal information is rightly restricted. His credibility is in question due to his track record of misrepresenting monarchy-related information. The disparity between Harry's version of events and reality is striking. For years, he acted as a notorious palace informant, betraying his family's trust. His departure has brought an unexpected tranquility, no further leaks have occurred since. Perhaps an earlier separation would have spared the royal family and the UK much unnecessary turmoil. Some may regret and bemoan that they are not here, but to their departure, that's the silver lining. The royal family, in fact, would have considered it nothing less than a great boon if they weren't here to face such an explosive situation, and so would have the country. Harry and Meghan's leave is a favor for everyone's well-being. This is just uncalled for. There is no business of Harry sticking his nose into private affairs or health matters of any member of the royal family. His history of betrayal, drug use, and paranoia simply doesn't give him a green light to privileged information. Just for a moment, can you imagine that he once thought of firing a missile at Charles's car? He is talking about his own father in such words, that's outrageous. Harry's estrangement has consequences. He forfeits any rights to familial information. Most families don't have to worry about airing dirty laundry from estranged members, but the monarchy does. Harry is finally learning that actions do have consequences, and with the way they're so fond of being indiscreet, did they really expect any differently? Their total breach of protocol, leaking details to the press after the Queen died, was completely appalling. One is tempted to chuckle at the idea of Omid announcing falsely that the Queen will return to London on the royal train. Whoever fed them such misinformation to the Los Angeles duo, he deserves recognition for his audacity. What for that matter about their audacious portrayal of the King and the Princess of Wales as the royal heirs through their mouthpiece? 6 years of their non-stop deluge of unsubstantiated allegations against the royal family, the British people. Are we seriously supposed to ignore that? Besides, why should he even be believed to have been left out in the cold, without being able to carry on with his duties from the USA. And he would never undertake royal duties again wherever he was placed. He himself declared that he would shirk any responsibility of a royal nature. If we continue to treat or accept the acts of an imperious and treacherous person like nothing is wrong, then we ourselves are wrong. The royal family view it for what it really is: Harry betrays them, and Meghan will throw him away as soon as he serves her well. This is all your own making, Harry. Meghan is already cozying up to your so-called best polo friend. Harry will have the devastating betrayal done by Meghan someday. You'll reap what you sow, and there's no such thing as feeling unjustly done if you've sown it. Do you even know that one time, Prince William put Harry through a loyalty test? It is speaking volumes to William's smarts. This was patently throwaway and phony information that he had planted out there to see how Harry would react to it. Obviously, Harry did not score on the test. They also found that Harry had been informing the press for decades. He had been an inside informant for the palace this whole time. William outmaneuvered. Harry realized, I know my brother's nature well, he'll take steps, sure as fate, to see that Harry landed in it. Will he ever realize that he's being used, and not just by Meghan but by everyone around him? They're taken, as on TV shows, to reveal secrets, boosting ratings, only to be thrown out after use, just like Oprah did. This is because they don't even know, they have been taken for a ride, but at the end of the day, it is Harry and Meghan's greed. One has to give it to the royal family, it's a stand well taken, more so considering the damage the Oprah interview has done. To trust Meghan is tantamount to letting a wolf loose in a henhouse. You would need to be a tad bit more convincing that the royal family really should not, as a matter of fact, do so for them to separate from Meghan's underhanded ways. Now goes trust of Harry, too, against the wall of worthiness. A promising beginning in the demolition of the facade of the so-called Sussex Empire. The steps to be taken might include depriving them of their royal ranks and state privileges. They need harsher punishment for their actions. With regard to the health issues of King Charles and Catherine, it is absolutely in order to not disclose elaborate bulletins to Harry and Meghan. If Catherine wanted to share her health status, she was going to share it herself. Updated information does not need to be peddled side by side with overpriced merchandise or Montecito podcasts. Her reluctance to reconcile with William raises a serious question by any means. William and Catherine are not in question, reuniting just does not figure with Meghan. What she has effectively done is cut Harry off from his family and friends, at least financially. Only Harry is too sharp to sniff out Meghan's motives, unfortunately. So Meghan doesn't want Harry reconciling with William and Catherine because, if he does, this will begin to draw him back into the royal fold. And she wants control over him so she can keep her sway. It is a power play, and Harry seems oblivious to it. Their leaving the royal firm was smeared by deceit, followed by the announcement of bringing out a tell-all book. Yet, family matters are expected to be privy to them. It smacks of history repeating itself, akin to the Wallace-Simpson disaster. And as to their demands for security, it smacks that they even expect preferential treatment to the extent of not even following the security standards afforded to other royals, including Princess Anne. Many seem to have seen through their veil. They should have just continued with the peaceful life they claimed they wanted. Although Harry might have been of a troubled nature before, maybe it was just a bit boosted by Meghan's influence. Now, Meghan's fast rise to Hollywood stardom in connection with her marriage to royalty also gives reason to wonder what intentions might be actually standing behind it. Has she ever actually had a decent career in Hollywood? Does that mean there is tangible proof that she worked in the entertainment industry, actually? These are the questions that are always on the table now. It's Meghan's turn in the hot seat as we look into her past. As far as I could retrieve, Meghan Markle was once a suitcase girl on a TV game show hosted by Howie Mandel long before she became part of the cast of a cable TV series, Suits. In this capacity, she would always sport a ready smile, holding forth and revealing with delight the contents of the prizes that would be hidden in the suitcases, enjoying her 5 minutes of glory as all eyes would be on her. She would exude the playful, vivacious persona with touches of a vamp, as the lyrics immortalize assurances. She significantly, however, deviates in her recollection of this experience. In the podcast episode Bimbo, Meghan had said it felt very objectifying, like being put into a bimbo box in a game show during her time running the reins. The discussion is done remotely here, peculiarly in post-production with Meghan's voice dubbed in. The illusion of authenticity is rather forced. The carefully engineered nature of the episode left the listeners unimpressed, shortchanged with little of substance coming from the interview. Meghan's narrative further showed her defiant, even against this derogatory label, positioning herself to be the feminist icon rising above the convention of society. However, this self-transformation, from a supposed victim to an empowered feminist, seems doubtful at best, especially considering that she is married to Prince Harry. This narrative arc smacks of contrivance, harkening back to the sort of cliché storyline one might have heard on the latest CD from the Spice Girls. During the audition for the show, Meghan felt like she was being considered on account of her intelligence and academic level, but afterward, she seemed to realize that maybe it was actually her tartness, not her intelligence. She was supposed to come out as a smart, strong feminist but ended up being completely humiliated and objectified in an alien way she had in mind. Meghan's presentation of herself as a feminist role model provoked skepticism and attack from many sides. Though she tried to identify herself with the new progressive ideas and make a character of empowerment and genuineness, most of her actions seemed to be in dissonance with these values. Far from actually embodying the principles and efforts of feminism to make a substantive difference through advocacy and activism, Meghan's efforts seem to be concentric more on self-promotion and personal gain. Perhaps the most glaring inconsistency within the way in which Meghan seeks to represent and define herself is with regards to her penchant for adopting personas and styles that seemingly do not resonate with the purported ideals she believes in. And while she professes to advocate for a kind of streetwise truth and validation of the struggles, her lifestyle and choices through most of this documentary strongly lean into loving and desiring to partake in the very opposite, opulence and glamour. Her tendency toward ball gowns and echoing the iconic fashion of Grace Kelly would signal a captivated view of the history of glamour and aristocratic privilege more than any true desire to be oppositional to societal norms on behalf of social justice. Further, Meghan's patently evident attempt to somehow place herself in comparison with Wallis Simpson of all people raises some question about her reasons and aspirations. Simpson, after all, is often portrayed as the controversial figure who set precedents at different levels and so on and so forth. But well, hers is a legacy also equally filled with controversy and scandals. By trying to model herself after Simpson, Meghan might inadvertently associate herself with a figure whose actions and choices have been questionable, open to questioning, and criticism. Essentially, Meghan's representation of herself as an icon of feminists is disingenuous and seems more concerned with cultivating a brand out of herself than really with advocacy and activism. If at all she does some lip service to progressive ideals and sincerely fights for causes that bring her the largest accolades, she often seems to be motivated by personal ambition and the need for approbation and applause. This has, in return, kept her credibility as a voice for feminism and social justice in doubt, with most people asking if she really has it at heart or it was all just a charade. Meghan's claims of being a supermodel haven't kindled well with the discerning audiences, who say she is heavily promoted through her TIG platform. Yet, for all that, the woman beneath the covers of many glossy magazines and struggling to get one's place in the work to establish oneself as a fashion influencer looks pretty superficial at best. Further, her association with certain magazines like Cut and Varietal did arouse certain mixed reactions, whereby some associated her appearance with rebranding or perhaps signaling to a more outlandish side of her career. Speculation on how one might take a risk has been swirling, despite the fact that it comes with disclaimers and supposedly humorous stories for entertainment value only. There's a clip going around the web with Meghan doing a photo shoot for Men's Health, and she looks really sultry flipping burgers at a rooftop barbecue. Wearing a tight top and giving off a vamping vixen kind of way, she was the prototype of a brunette bimbo. Still, despite this overt display, the intellectual backing to it painfully absent, with her making no such verbal contributions, just the soundtrack. Ironically, today Meghan found herself reverting to the same sort of attention-seeking behaviors, albeit in a different setting, stirring a bowl in a kitchen that wasn't her own, breaching the privacy of her host. Nevertheless, flashes of what she reportedly claims as intelligence and a master's in international relations shine through her past exploits of an intern in an Argentine embassy, reportedly filtering dossiers, even breaking into Cory Vitello's home computer for recipes, reportedly, for fun. Memories of her career include appearances in forgettable D-grade movies that can be called from the shelf at some retail outlet. Her cameo in a Beverly Hills 90210 episode, playing a girl making out in a car, if anything else, was yet another opportunity to highlight her penchant for provocative roles. It seems that she has done all the possibilities to erase the face of the internet of any records about it, but from time to time, even the kind of trace emerges in some digital media. Such a bright line between the public image of Meghan as a perfect mother and wife, and between her dark past with activities related to raunchy work. On the other hand, she tries to portray the image of a strong pillar with family values, mostly emphasizing her role as a loving wife and a dedicated mother to her children. Her persona in the four walls of her home and one of the maternal warmth, something she tries to build through managed public appearances and a well-crafted social media front. However, the haunted past of hers, which is always followed by her constant reminders of the nagging controversies, is quickly being blown apart despite all her attempts to silence it. The frequency of newly emerging photos, the rumbling about the existence of explicit relationships, and provocative activities clearly put her public face in doubt. These revelations, therefore, bring to mind just how serious are the complexities of Meghan's character and challenge the narrative of purity and virtue, which she tries to project. The incongruity between the two, the one Meghan projects to the public and the other of her past exploits, serves to underscore the lasting legacy of what she did and has gone on to shape the perception of her character and credibility. However, the specter of her controversial past looms large over any efforts she makes to present herself as the wholesome role model that she is striving to be and, in the process, undermines this carefully constructed facade. In this light, Meghan's struggles with the suppression of her past can only be further elucidative of how her past impact actions that refuse to be painted over or suffer amnesia. Rumors swirled, and allegations were made against the portrait that Meghan had painted of her past. Among the more sensational of the claims are her involvement as a yacht girl in a brief foray into the world of adult entertainment as a porn starlet. Moreover, there are whispers on the web that she was connected to a circle of friends, including Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. These rumors, when non-conclusive, still stay in the digital space, sparking intrigue and conversation. One of the running themes of these stories is Meghan's apparent liking for self-promotion and hanging out with dubious characters. Be it her alleged exploits as a yacht girl or her rumored connections with people who were in the middle of scandals, there is an opportunism and ambition which strings through the different accounts of her past. While those could be seen as simple rumors or even conspiracy theories, still, some other people consider them a sign of certain behavior, characterizing the way Maya people take advantage of every opportunity for their personal benefit. But even having said that, though she made every single attempt to actually parade herself as the very personification of the most honest and decent values, still, doubts could creep in regarding the sincerity of her character and the real nature of her past. In the Byzantine world of machinations, some say, Meghan's life is enveloped. Whether that holds any truth at all is ultimately a matter of conjecture in the absence of hard proof. What is certain, however, is that Meghan has a very murky and controversial past, and everything that keeps coming out only adds one more layer to the enigma that surrounds her. Of course, as the speculation continues, one can't help but wonder much more about the other secrets that likely lay hidden, of course, if not too probably. Meghan's course from the days of being an ex-working royal is really riddled with contradictions. What had begun as a rags-to-riches tale, many times typified by her infamous involvement as a yacht girl and stint as a porn starlet, has now been spun into a tale of royal tinfoiled entitlement mixed with a serious sense of entitlement and opportunism. Though she tries to paint herself as a symbol of empowerment and feminism, her actions prove quite the opposite. Against what she would want others to believe her to be, most of Meghan's actions have not and do not symbolize any form of empowerment for women, much less women who are truly independent, as they, more often than not, give way to and even encourage stereotypes and notions of women as materialistic, superficial, etc. In that respect, by showing that a princess can be produced through deceit, manipulation, and even sycophancy to rich benefactors, she inadvertently sends a very dangerous message to impressionable young girls. Meghan's story does not encourage others to strive for their dreams with hard work, perseverance, and integrity. Instead, it implies success as purchasable and easily manipulated, alarming thoughts that watered down the true values of empowerment and self-determination. Further, the manner in which Meghan has been conducting herself since leaving the royal fold only solidified that perception. From her raucously public interviews and appearances to provocative business ventures and legal battles with the media, Meghan's actions often reek of a sense of entitlement and irreverence for the consequences. Instead of using her platform to effect positive change and inspire others, she seems more out to protect her interests and image, completely at odds with the selfless dedication and service that one expects of a royal family member. It's in this light that Meghan's journey becomes a cautionary tale of what can happen when one risks integrity and authenticity over fame and fortune. Where ambition and determination to drive into power, the circumstances around its fall are chilling and really are a final piece of instruction for sticking to one's values and principles. The legacy of Meghan might be one of life-changing impact. She leaves on the generations of young women looking up to her, with a weight much heavier than any of her status and wealth. Watching the never-ending Harry and Meghan story can sometimes be quite boring. But the debate around them is still relevant and makes one think about their actions and everything that is linked to that. That's it for our video, my friends. I hope you have liked it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and like the video. If you haven't done so yet, if you want to be first to be informed about my content, please subscribe to the channel and make sure you turn on notifications. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself and stay healthy. I'll see you in the next one.